Welcome back to Untitled Tips and Tricks, and into this video playing Dying Light 2. Right, so to start, a tip that we're gonna put out there whenever you're playing this. Something that you always want to keep in mind is you want to buy out the brews whenever you're playing in-game. Unfortunately, I already bought. I don't have any to buy from this guy currently right now. Something important to know is that when you do these Easter eggs that you have throughout the game, and if you're not aware, Easter eggs are like little hidden quests that the makers of Dying Light 2 have put into the game to provide beneficial blueprints that will help you throughout your game, can make the game more interesting and add a little diversity to the game. For example, doing an Easter egg, I believe is called the Creator Easter Egg, gives you the left finger of Galava, which allows you to basically point your finger at an enemy, shoot them, and they die. However, this blueprint does not count as a weapon, it counts as an accessory, just as the grappling hook. And you receive your grappling hook from the broadcast mission. There are multiple endings to Dying Light 2, if you're not aware, and I found that there's just so much going on in Dying Light 2 that there's so much variety to just talk about. One of the Easter eggs that I got done was called, I don't know, I wouldn't really call it anything, but the Broom Easter Egg, which allows you to fly around. I'll show you guys an example of that in a second, but real quick, if you're just starting your game, I muted your audio by the way, but you can unmute it easy. If you get, why? You weren't up here, so I don't know. So if you get to the second area of the map here, after leaving Old Villador, you want to come over to this section of the map, and you can find Sunken Air Drops using your binoculars. What I found is that in venturing off into this area right here, you can kind of see these, and if you can't, then just kind of explore until you do. It's all underwater, and by accessing these airdrops, you can get exponentially way better gear than you start off with. Pretty much, quote-unquote, endgame type gear. Now, if you go to my playlist, Dying Light 2, yay, what's up? Yeah, so if you go to my playlist, I have a Dying Light 2 playlist set up with Easter eggs and everything that you need. However, if you are doing some of the challenges that they have placed out throughout the map, you have like running agility challenges, you have fighting challenges, you have all sorts of challenges throughout the map. If you play 3, 2, 1, the timer starts with any challenge that you do that offers a reward. If you quit and go to the main menu, load back in, it'll give you anything that you would receive as a gold tier reward. Thus, the Broom Easter Egg counted as a, in a sense, flying challenge that you had to use with the broom, and by achieving gold by completing the challenge the best that you could, you receive the broom. What the broom allows you to do is to fly with complete directional control. You can kind of go wherever you want, and it runs off of your agility. So whenever you're using your inhibitors, you can level up your agility or your health, and by leveling up your agility, you can fly longer, which really benefits you. Now, by flying closer to taller buildings, you'll notice that the wind will change, and that adds another benefit to your gameplay. Another thing that's pretty important when playing, as far as your skill tree, you definitely want to focus on your jumping, as well as climbing, and your active landing is most important, because you can fall from higher distances while using the broom in the game, and that helps you exponentially whenever you're falling or if you run out of stamina. From what I've seen and heard, prolong the end of the game as much as you can after the broadcast mission, because there's so much to do in the game that can benefit you as far as Easter egg wise or anything else like that. But yeah, scraps. You use scraps most of the time, I would have to say, for anything Easter egg related. So it's definitely good to kind of keep an eye out for that. Okay. Now the broom you can use in combat. It's very hard to. You have to be very skilled to use it in combat. But despite that, it is definitely something worth getting. And I can explain how to get it. I can't show you the process anymore because I've already gone through it. But in the future, if I do reset the game and start anew, then yeah, I can definitely show you guys the process for that. I'm trying to figure out where exactly I'm supposed to enter into this building. I think if I just go up to the top, maybe I can go down. I'm not sure. But before I continue, let's just give another tip out there real quick to help y'all level up. When you open up a military crate, Gre drop, or anything related to that, inhibitor-wise, or anything related to that, after opening one, you can go back, revisit it, and collect everything that was once in it. Sometimes you're not, or I guess from what I found, you won't really get inhibitors back from it. However, military tech is something that you can receive from these airdrops over and over and over and over again, and that's how you can kind of level up everything, like your paraglider, anything that uses military tech, your grappling hook, your UV flashlight, to max level. I don't use the UV flashlight, but get into using it. It's just I didn't really use it whenever it wasn't leveled up. You receive Gre Detector in the future, and that kind of lets you scan the map for any inhibitors. So if I were to zoom in, or I guess, let me see. I'm not sure if it's related to towers or what, but yeah, see, certain towers will let you scan the area for inhibitors, and then you can find inhibitors on your map. So it's important they go for towers in the game. So yeah, so we got one right here. But you can only really do that whenever you have your Gre Detector. Another little neat thing to know is that your collectibles actually do play a very big role in the game. As far as safe codes, you can find them near each safe, which kind of give you an idea of how to crack the safe. And yeah, I believe that after collecting so many collectibles, you either get a trophy usually, or you know, you can do an Easter egg, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure. Yeah, but if you guys have any questions, let me know. I've done the hoverboard Easter egg, and I got that put away. I got the Finger of Glava Easter egg done. Whenever you're doing missions from your journal, or I guess side quest or main quest, everything's tracked here, so you can kind of keep an idea of what you've done. Another thing that's kind of important is whenever you decide which faction you want to go with, Peacekeepers or the PTK, I think that's what they call them. piece. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Give me one sec. So, the comments for this video aren't popping up the best, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up my phone. I'm gonna check out your comments that way. Let's see. So what is your rating of this game as far as 10 of 10? I would personally say, definitely blows Dying Light 1 out of the water, just because you have so much content, so much. And I mean, you don't really have to focus on the main storyline to really enjoy the game as much. But it does have a lot of glitches in the game, a lot of factors that affect your gameplay. As far as combat, they did do a lot with the combat, but the combat right now in the game is so glitchy, it kind of seems like you can't use half of the skills that you unlock throughout, you know, the game, like getting combat points. You unlock different abilities that you can use, and it's really hard to do so because the game's so glitchy. As far as parkour, yes, you know, you can use a lot of parkour super easy, but because of the glitchiness factor, I would say a 7.5. Like, it's definitely a game I'd recommend getting, because Dying Light itself just doesn't seem like itself unless there are, like, glitchy aspects to it. It's just to the point where you can almost break the game because it's so glitchy. It almost seems, I don't know, really hard to play. Like, some of the glitches I found in the game weren't just through battling, but like I said, exploitation of airdrops. Like, after you open one, you can go back and grab military tech. And if you're new to the video so far, if you go down here after you leave Old Villador, you can collect underwater airdrops that are a part of the whole city right here that has been sunken, but you can rise the city above after a while. I haven't gotten to that point, but definitely a lot to do in this area before you unsink the city. Yeah, I don't know. I would just say after you finish the broadcast mission, you definitely want to go out and just kind of do whatever you can as far as like mission wise. From what I found, the Carriers Guild, join them. They have tons of stuff that you can do, and Baba Yaga is somebody that we met in Dying Light 1, but I guess she's back in Dying Light 2, and that's kind of where you get the broom. Definitely pay attention to the resources they use when crafting as well, because if you're trying to save up for like an Easter egg type material that you get as a blueprint, you're going to notice that it tells you, okay, scraps, so you're going to have 369 to craft one. That's a lot. That's why you want to buy scraps at every vendor that you come to. And right now I only have 82, but that's just because I bought the left. What? Oh, okay. You know, right now I got 82, and it takes 369. So buy scraps, check trash cans, like anything that you can. But besides that, you're gonna notice on this remote C4 it uses scraps, cans, wiring, electrical parts, and cleaning supplies. Everything except for scraps is pretty abundant in the game. Scraps, in a sense, yes, they're abundant, but you're only going to collect like 6 to 7 out in the real world, versus where you go to a vendor where you can buy like 30. So, yeah, I really got to push that concept. Besides that, gear-wise, if you check that underwater location, I have level 7 gear right now. Level 7, level 9. Like, you're not going to find gear like that until you finish the game. My gear armor level is level 40, and I have 70,000, like, gold. And you don't get that, the grind. Like, you gotta put time in. But, if you get the broom, that makes you so much more mobile in the game, where you can just travel, and it cuts your time completely, like, in half. I wouldn't even say that, like, it just drops your time for, like, traveling by far. I don't even know. But Dying Light 2, yes, definitely a game you want to get. And I would get it now because a lot of things that I'm pointing out, even though they seem kind of like, oh, I don't want to get it because it's got so many things that you can kind of exploit that are wrong with the game. Yes, I understand your point, but at the same time, if you're really trying to be competitive with your friends, and you pay attention to the playlist, Dying Light 2 playlist I got on the channel, you follow that, take my tips, you're definitely going to progress a lot quicker than anybody else that you know that plays Dying Light. Now, I'm still trying to figure out how to get into this place, but I'll figure it out. I know that I'm not the smartest whenever it comes to figuring stuff like this out, but I got it. Hey, there we go. Okay, so I was just trying to go back to the Carriers Guild. Now, if you're curious where the Carriers Guild is and what it's about, when you join the PK, you find out about how the Carriers Guild could possibly help you find your sister, and your sister is kind of like your whole objective in Dying Light 2. You want to find her, and you know, I've seen that the more that you're like understanding in the game, the farther you'll get as far as your companions in the game, like the people that you surround yourself with. Um, yo, Boxer Gang, hey, hey. Okay. So real quick, Carriers Guild is located right here in downtown. Your bottom right corner, it will tell you the town name or city name or whatever you want to call it, the area, and that's very crucial if you're trying to find safe codes. And you know, there are like little safes that have inhibitors in them, which allow you to, if you go to your skill tree, you can level up your health or your agility, which I've kind of mentioned. Up here, this is my agility level, and see it's 215 out of 380. I got 380 out of 380 as far as health, so there's no real point in leveling up my health at this point. But there is a point in leveling up my agility, so I'll probably focus on that. Every time you use inhibitors, brings up your immunity. So at night, you're more likely to, I'm not really sure, like die or transform into a zombie if you don't use something to boost your immunity, as such as boosters. You always want to craft boosters and use those instead of the materials that you find out in the world. An example of such being, let me see. Let's see, do we have any immunity boosters? Poison. Yes, let's see, right here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, I got immunity boosters. You want to level that up, max that out. But the materials that it takes to use those are UV shrooms. You never want to eat UV shrooms directly. You want to make them into boosters because they do so much more than just eating the shrooms that you find throughout the world. And you'll notice that whenever you find a GRE site with a inhibitor inside a crate or like a old GRE like military van, sometimes you won't be able to fight, or sometimes you won't be able to unlock that inhibitor unless you fight a zombie boss at night. And usually the quickest sign, besides like the little notification on your screen saying you gotta visit back at night, is a UV shroom sitting on top of the GRE crate that has the inhibitors inside. And if you collect that, that's good because you can manufacture more boosters, yet never eat them directly, especially if you're running out of supplies. Like, use it as a last resort if you don't have other materials, but definitely collect them for boosters. I found that since I've gotten the broom, I don't really use immunity boosters, and since I've checked out those supply drops, my my materials as far as weapons are so high level that I'm not really struggling with dealing damage or DPS to any enemy that I've encountered. So yeah, pretty much anything you scavenge, you can re-scavenge, and it's really a 50-50 chance. Like these, I've already scavenged. You won't always get your materials from them, but most of the time you do.
Any news on Mike?
Nothing. No clues either.
You know where he disappeared? Maybe I could take a look.
As a matter of fact, I do. I could use a pair of fresh eyes on this. And I trust you. Let me mark the area on your map.
Alright, I'll let you know if I find anything.
Did you hear the news? About that rich lady? Well, you gotta remember her. There's not a lot of rich anyones left in this part of the city.
No. What happened?
Hanged herself. Turns out, she was being blackmailed.
Over what?
Well, killed her whole family a few years ago. At the time, she said infected had swarmed them. Turns out it was a setup. A power grab.
Her family?
Husband, kids. Even her own sister.
Fuck.
Apparently, the younger brother of one of her accomplices was blackmailing her. I'm not sure what went wrong, but he made her story public. But just before he did, she tied a noose around her neck and kicked away a kitchen chair.
Fuck.
Alright, so I see that you're more intrigued about this broom. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It just says this was found near some train station. It's kind of cool. I would definitely say that once you get the broom from doing these Easter eggs, it's the most broken thing in the game. I would definitely just have to say that. If you're curious about where you go to do this Easter egg and the best method to completing it, I'll explain it real quick. So, let me see. Right here, if you go to the garrison area, this is where you're going to find that you've completed the broadcast mission. If you haven't, I don't know. Definitely complete it. But once you... Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you it in action in a second. It runs off of stamina, but you go to the VMC tower, and once you're inside, you can ride the elevator after completing the broadcast mission, and then just to the right, you should see, like, a crane, and if you get to the second floor of the crane, you can grow these mushrooms, and I can go back through and show you guys the process if you're actually that curious, but basically, once you grow these shrooms, you start up a challenge, just like you would an agility challenge or a running challenge or anything like that. And here I'm going to use it in action so you guys kind of get an idea. But yeah, I have full flight controls, and basically you're going to do this challenge where you got to use the broom. Right now I'm facing a little air resistance, so I'm not really going anywhere, so I'm going to fly up. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you're going to use the broom in the challenge, and if you wait for the countdown, it's going to go 3, 2, 1, and then it'll start a timer. So your objective is to get gold, but the quickest method is by quitting and then going back to the main menu, loading back in the game once that timer has started, after the 3, 2, 1, and then it would just give it to you, put it in your inventory, just as it would with the hoverboard. And yeah, you heard me right, there's a hoverboard in Dying Light 2, it's kinda lag.
Stab wounds? Infected didn't do that. Looks like you were ambushed and left for dead, Mike. Worse, left in the dark so you'd turn. Just killing you wasn't enough for these bastards. I should take these to Driscoll.
Oh, yeah. Another useful tip that I can give you guys is that when you join the, what is it, I wouldn't say Messengers Guild, but let me see. I got it right here. I just talked about it a second ago. Carriers Guild. When you join the Carriers Guild and you go out on missions, check the area for each kind of mission they give you, because you can find a lot of resources, tons of resources, you know, and honey is used for like healing and med supplies, which you don't want to really forget about. 100%, yeah, we could definitely do that. Oh, come here. Chill, bubblegum. Alright, there we go. Always keep in mind little side mission factors. Wow, I'm like flying in the dark, quite literally. Okay. Now if you're trying to get into the Carriers Guild and you're not sure how to get in, always look for these like little posts that sit outside, and eventually you'll find one that swings right here. It's like orange and it leads right into the building.
You back? You find anything?
Letters. Took them off an infected in a carrier's uniform.
Fuck, Mike. I mean, it's dangerous out there. But fuck!
It's worse than that. And the infected didn't kill him. He was stabbed and left to turn. Intentionally.
So he was attacked. Well, that happens. As respected as we are, we're targeted for robbery because of the information we carry. People are always trying to disrupt the network.
It wasn't a robbery. Since his deliveries were still on him, he must have been targeted.
Mike didn't have any enemies.
Well, based on all the disappearances lately, it's probably not Mike who has enemies.
You mean someone's targeting the guild itself? No one would have the nerve.
But what if they did? What then?
If the guild were brought down, so would the network. There'd be chaos.
Then we'd all better watch each other's backs. Hey, Professor. Got any new deliveries for me?
Sure do. Here they are.
And what about any history lessons?
Maybe another time. The way things are going around here, I need to focus on the here and now.
Ah, well, I totally get that. Okay, later.
PC, I see. Okay. If I played Minecraft on the PC... Oh wait, oh my god, are you Iron? You must be Iron, yo. No way you're not. I just didn't recognize you, I'm sorry. Hey, I appreciate the support. Yeah, if you can shout out the channel to a few of your buds or anything like that, that'd be great. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs, and we're pretty close. Hey, I was right. Let's go. But yeah, it's so game breaking. Like I'm not gonna say the parkour is bad in this game. It's absolutely amazing, but it's just cuts down everything so much. Oh, you're trying to hit 50 subscribers? Oh, you also get a paraglider in this game, which is pretty cool. And your broom switches back and forth from that. Hey, alright, well, give your channel a shout out real quick, yeah? Let's see if we can get you up there. That's the goal, man. Goal is always to make that money, you know? Ooh, okay, hold up, I'm gonna have to drop. And if you ever run out of stamina, definitely keep in mind these air vents. Ah, fuck. Dang, dude. Like I said, it's glitchy, you know? Even though I'm supposed to be able to fall from great distances, I still can't. Like, I would definitely have to say that wasn't that far. Okay. Is there a way to get downstairs? There it is.
Package for you.
Thank you. Holy... I can't believe he got it.
What's that?
My fiance's ring. It was... lost.
Lost?
I lost her. She was wearing it when the power went out. By the time it was back on, she turned and fled into the night.
That's terrible.
It was on her shambling corpse. Knowing that thing was wearing it, the ring I gave her tore me up. It was an obscenity. But I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't face her. Not like that.
So, who got a hold of the ring?
Dinesh. He promised he'd track her down and get it for me. He came through. Dinesh would have been my best man. He's my best friend.
That sounds like it. Hopefully you can start to put this past you.
Oh, no. No.
What?
There's a note in here. It's from Dinesh's sister. She says... Dinesh was out too long. He was already turning when he came back. They had to kill him. But they found the ring clutched in his hand.
I don't know what to say.
Alright. Let's see. See, the broom's just the way to go. It's so overpowered as a travel material. I don't even know. And the biggest issue I found is how they copied a lot of code. They basically use, I would say, 2 to 3 different building setups for each Traveler's Guild mission that you complete, and it's just copy and pasted code, which, you know, isn't uncommon with games like this, but it definitely is an eyesore after a while, especially if you're just doing, you know, the guild over and over and over again. And it's not the only thing I focus on. Something I make a priority, just to see if I can, you know, see my sister. But if not, I don't know. I'm still just curious, like, what it would be like to master the Traveler's Guild, because I feel like they're kind of like, I don't know, you know, just joining a guild is pretty cool.
Package for you.
Come quick, the storks arrived! The storks arrived!
That's not a stork, honey. That's the carrier.
Nonsense! I know a stork when I see one. And it's brought our beautiful baby. Our gorgeous son.
Huh?
That's right, honey. He's beautiful. Look, he's yawning. I bet he's tired from his journey. You should put him to bed.
Oh. But I want to rock him and hug him and squeeze him. And oh, look, Ferris, look at those little apple cheeks. I could just eat him up. That's right, Mummy could just eat up her little boy. Num, 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 num.
Sweetheart,
Oh. But you're right. I'll put him to bed.
Still there, buddy?
Just tell me I didn't just deliver a baby.
No. Don't worry, it's just a doll.
Oh, Ferris! His eyes! He has your eyes!
I told you he would, honey.
What's going on?
Look, buddy, my wife recently lost our real son in childbirth. She hasn't been the same since.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. But for her, it hasn't quite sunk in yet, so someone recommended getting a doll for her to care for. This seems crazy, but we hope it might help her heal.
Your son just pooped, Ferris! He even has the cutest poops.
How sweet.
What the
Look, we
heck?
just need some privacy, so
What
please
the heck?
keep this under your hat.
This woman in the game's like,
I can't take this.
I guess she had a
Anyway, it'd be
miscarriage,
a violation of my
and
carrier's oath if I said
her
anything.
husband
I
got
know, but
a
look, she needs
doll
a doll to
for
feel
her,
better, and I
and
need
she's
this,
like,
so
look, he just pooped.
take it.
And I'm like, what?
Understood. Thank you.
So you're Driscoll's new golden boy.
And you are?
Someone who's had his eye on you.
I get that a lot.
Smart ass. You're not much to look at.
Now let me guess. You're Derek.
In the flesh, loser. Carriers used to be heroes. That insignia used to mean something.
Sounds to me like your behavior wasn't all that heroic when you were a carrier.
Fine, I made some mistakes, but I believed in what we did. Not like you, fucking pilgrim. I know what you're after. You're just trying to get some information and then bail.
Maybe that's how it started, but that's not how it is now.
Bullshit. I'm gonna show them what being a real carrier is all about. Teach everyone a lesson. And you're cocky. You'll slip up. And I'll be there when you do, pilgrim.
See, I feel like we're getting closer and closer to whatever the Carriers Guild has to offer. So now I'm just kind of curious on how that's going to end. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything that y'all should be aware about, you know, let me know. Any comments they leave in the video that I don't get to now, or if I don't see, I'll get back to because they pop up on my notifications. So just let me know.
Inhibitor container detected.
Okay, so it's this way. Like, once you get so far into the game, you don't really worry about inhibitors as much. It's still a goal to kind of max out everything, but they really just turn you into, like, a crazy zombie, so...
You're back. What the hell happened? Infected?
No, met Derek. Cheerful fellow. Not resentful at all.
So you talked. Do you think he's behind Mike's death and the other disappearances?
It could be. Seems to have it out for the entire outfit, even though he claims to revere it.
And he knows enough to understand what would happen if the guild were destroyed.
That makes him very dangerous.
So where is he?
I don't know. I didn't follow him after. Came straight back here.
There's more reasons to be careful then.
No use waiting around for something bad to happen. You have any deliveries for me?
I do. But remember, you have more than Derek to worry about out there.
Don't worry, Professor. Postmen have been delivering in adverse conditions for thousands of years. The paths we walk become roads. Isn't that the saying?
Well, aye, but the roads better not be bustling with the infected. Especially the types we're seeing now. Reports of new and, frankly, terrifying new creatures.
Just trying to give it to you.
Yeah, I've seen plenty.
God help us.
I wouldn't hold your breath for that.
All right. Alright, man. You have a good night. I appreciate you joining the stream. I wish you good luck on your journey to your channel. Yeah, you too.
Carriers Guild.
Thank you. Wait a moment, won't you please?
Is someone at the door, Giselle?
No, Mother. I was just locking it.
Thank you for the letter. It's from my love, Keld. He lives on the other side of the city. We belong together, but my parents forbid it.
Ah, yeah. Seems like a local fashion these days. But I'm not sure what I can do for you.
For one, you can just listen. I have no one else to talk to.
Okay.
And you can have this letter delivered. If he could afford to leave his family, we would be together. But he can't. So I'll go to him. The letter says where he should meet me.
Okay. I'll take this back to the guild.
Alright. On my way again. Nothing gonna stop me on my way in. Okay.
Mail for you, sir.
Thanks. About time. Been quiet around here lately.
Oh, honey, I could have gotten that.
Stop that, Tanya. Don't you treat me like I'm useless, too.
I didn't mean that. I
Just remember, I only lost a leg. I didn't become one of those things.
No. But, well, who's the letter from?
HQ. And I can tell you what it says before I open it. Yep. I've been booted. No longer fit for duty.
No. Oh, honey.
Oh, shut up. I don't need your pity. What I need is something to fucking do. Right now, I'm just a lame horse waiting to be shot.
Well, maybe just give it some time, honey. There's plenty someone in your condition can...
What did I just say? None of your fucking pity. I may have lost my leg, but I can still chase you down. I still got 2 hands to slap you with. So shut your fucking mouth.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm surprised, Aiden. I'm surprised. I would never ever let any guy talk to a woman that way. Alright guys, well with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like below, comment below, subscribe, and join us in the next video.